Good early afternoon, 12:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, December 12th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, I wanted to do an update here on XRP. My son is in his speech therapy for the next 45 minutes. So, I want to do a good 10 minutes at least here and go over a few different areas that I find very important. And I think this will help us determine going forward too, the price ranges, one, that it could go whether good or bad, and two, just some of the dynamics that are taking place here. So if you haven't seen some of the news yet today, we've got Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. He criticized 60 Minutes for omitting the XRP court ruling, as we know they led on to the fact that XRP had sold unregistered securities and they were in a lawsuit and yada yada, but they failed to mention the fact that had already been settled, and it's been ruled that XRP is not a security now or ever, and even in the future it can't be ruled a security. So they omitted that fact, which is nonsense, but Brad Garlinghouse said that, and I just want to read this. Crypto made its debut, and this is Brad Garlinghouse Verified X. Crypto made its debut on 60 Minutes tonight. There's no doubt that these technologies will continue to become more and more mainstream, with influence and reach that will only continue to grow. A few things I do want to comment on after watching. I spoke with Margaret Brennan 60 Minutes for 90 plus minutes straight. When discussing the SEC's misguided lawsuit against Ripple, 60 Minutes shockingly left out that a federal judge ruled that XRP is not a security. Gensler's shill, John Reed Stark, knows better despite his comments that 60 Minutes chose to air. Lastly, to say crypto has no utility is exactly what the naysayers said about the internet in its earliest days. That it's nothing more than illicit activity, how vastly they were proven wrong. Today, even JP Morgan is coming around on blockchain. Conveniently, 60 Minutes also failed to mention that Ripple is doing billions of dollars of KYC transactions for our institutional customers, leveraging XRP to move money cross-border more efficiently than trading or traditional payment rails. So, and you guys can watch the 60 Minutes if you haven't seen it. So that's what I wanted to update on that. And then I think this is rather fascinating. I didn't get to get this morning because I had to get my son to school, but we'll start here before we actually look at the charts. So XRP investors realized $800 million in profits amid signs of massive rally to $4.75. Ripple's XRP continued its rally on Wednesday as it looks to test the upper boundary of a key flag channel. Following the recent price rise, investors booked profits worth nearly $800 million, while options traders bet on the remittance-based token hitting the $5 mark. XRP options suggest bullish momentum amid profit-taking among investors. And we found where a massive part of that profit-taking was made through the sentiment data yesterday. If you weren't around or if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, holders it was roughly, I believe it said 10 million to 100 million tokens they added during the dip and during this last consolidation phase. They've added, I believe it was about they went from 4.5 to 5.7 billion tokens. So they added about 1.2 billion. Holders from 100,000 to 1 million lost 450 million in tokens, which means they sold out 450 tokens off the bottom line. So my speculation is from 100,000 up to 1 million, at least towards the lower boundaries at 100, 200,000, you could have been an actual retail investor without millions of dollars and been able to do this if you bought at the right time. Anything superseding that is bigger fish. That's why over 1 million, you're not seeing the same. You're seeing accumulation rather than, unloading. So I think that's a rather interesting thing to pay attention to as well. So investors have booked nearly 800 million in profits. So XRP has surged over 20% since Tuesday, after Ripple announced it received approval to launch its RLUSD stablecoin. Since recovering from the dip, just below $2, investors have booked nearly 800 million in profits. This developing trend of high profit taking upon any major price rise could slow down XRP's bullish momentum. Additionally, XRP's weekly active addresses have also begun to taper off, declining from 496,000 last week to 341,000 on Wednesday. This signals lesser on-chain activity and investor interest for XRP. Meanwhile, the XRP options market shows that traders favor an upside move, with the $5 call being the second most traded XRP option, which makes sense because the technical target, if you understand the descending wedge, as long as the person taking out the option, they use enough time, they take it out far enough from the, expiration date, our technical target's $5.49. Unless it invalidates it, which right now we're so far past invalidation, we have a pretty big ways to go. So that's a favorable bet at the $5 level. Being the second most courting. The $5 call on options, exchange derivative, also hosts a notional option interest of 1.25 million, the highest among out-of-the-money calls. Out-of-the-money calls are option contracts with a higher strike price than the underlying assets market price. So if that happens, you're out of the money, and that money's goodbye. Ripple's XRP Bullflag signals rally towards $4.75. XRP is posting a Bullflag following its recent consolidation in the past few days. This pattern is formed by a sharp increase known as a flagpole, followed by consolidation that resembles a flag before a breakout occurs. And like falling channel, Bullflag, these are bullish consolidations. It's however you want to call it. But that's the speculation here that Bullflag, falling channel, if you want to move it into a falling wedge, whatever your forte is, we look at it in all ways on our charts. They're all bullish consolidations if they break out and hold. If XRP sustains a high volume above the upper boundary of the flag channel, it could signify the continuation of its rally with a maximum profit target near $4.75. However, it must first overcome the resistance near the $3 psychological level to complete such a move. The Relative Strength Index, or RSI, and stochastic oscillator momentum indicators are above their neutral levels and trending upward, indicating dominant bullish sentiment. A daily candlestick closed below $1.35 will invalidate the thesis and send XRP towards the 93-cent area, which is also known where the fair value gap FVG sits at 91 cents. So, where are we at right now? So we went through some of the information. XRP's consolidating. It's lost all gains on the day so far. It's pushing in a very, very, very important level here. It needs to get over at some point here today and stay over that $2.41 mark. The moment it gets over $2.41, XRP's got a lot of bullish momentum, a lot. We've already had a golden cross in the hourly, a golden cross in the, well, not in the 2 hourly, but we've recrossed back up to try to ride support out of there in the 2 hourly. We've already created an inverse head and shoulders here in the short term. So this is, if you look at it like a descending triangle, descending wedge, but if you look at it in a Bullflag setting or like a falling channel, however you want to describe it, that's what they're looking at right here. So that's what you just seen on that other chart. And the technical target here maintains. If it breaks out, we're looking at $3.14 in the short term. It'd be our first visit past $3 since 2018. That's the bottom line. For us to be feeling a little bit nervous here, if you break down this, and I don't really want to come back down here, but I could see it coming down here, but it's already tested here. That's you don't really want to keep coming back down here if you want this to break up. So as long as we hold the area, we're good. 2 hourly could be pushing a little bearish here, however. 3 and 4 hourly, I mean, same consolidation style candles. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. The daily time frame still looks, the daily is what looks the best to me. Because in the daily, it looks like it could just be building an inverted hammer throughout the day. Even if it comes back a little bit farther to 236, that's still a bullish consolidation. If we can get out of this, these are bullish continuations here. So unless this breaks down and just punches us in the face, which is possible, you know, it is always possible. XRP looks extremely bullish right now. Extremely bullish right now. Pretty remarkable how it looks, actually. So, and I know the short term people are like, oh, it's bullish, but it's going up and down, left and right, side to side. That's part of consolidation, friends. I gotta go. As you can hear, some kids aren't happy, but my son's doing fine. I don't hear him. But I would still like to go out there just in case. But I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciate what I do, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're less than 70 subscribers away from 30,000. It's going to be a magical moment here, either today or tomorrow, when we break over 30,000, and it'll be beautiful. And then other than that, we'll go over everything else we need to do in the live tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and remain humble. The word of the week is humility. If we don't have humility, if you look in the mirror and you don't see humility, find a way to get humility. The more humility we have, the more humble we are, and the more gracious and forward and giving we become.